Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the third film in our April in Paris collection, a neo-noir mystery thriller, Frantic, directed by Roman Polanski, written by Polanski with George Braque, and starring Harrison Ford as Dr. Richard Walker, Betty Buckley as his wife Sandra, and Emmanuelle Seigner as Michelle. It was shot on location in Paris, but unlike the previous two films, Midnight in Paris and Julie and Julia, it doesn't present a postcard view of the city. Rather, as is typical of Polanski's work, it presents a more modern film noir view, with images of highways, shabby streets, grubby cabarets, and even garbage trucks. The Eiffel Tower appears only briefly, very late in the film. There are scenes shot on the Ile aux Cygnes, near the Paris copy of the Statue of Liberty, and several shots of the Hotel Legrand's exterior and its lobby. Frantic is not well known, but has been called the best Hitchcock movie that Hitchcock didn't make. And though it was a commercial flop, critics actually gave Polanski good reviews. One critic called this movie Polanski's best film ever. Another cited its relentless paranoia, irony, diffident strangers, and nutty cameos. Roger Ebert called Polanski a modern master of the theater and the film noir. Polanski and Ford have maintained a friendly relationship in the years since they collaborated on this film. In 2003, when Polanski was awarded the Academy Award for Best Director for The Pianist, he was unable to attend the award ceremony. Ford accepted the award for him and flew to Paris to deliver it. Polanski is a Jewish, Polish, French director, producer, writer, and actor. He was born Raymond Thierry Liebling in Paris in 1933 and returned to Krakow in 1937 with his family, where his parents soon disappeared during raids by the Nazis on the Krakow ghetto. Polanski survived the Holocaust under an assumed name, living in various foster homes until the end of World War II. As time went on, he returned to France, eventually becoming a filmmaker and making all but two of his movies in various countries in Europe. His first film, Knife in the Water, from 1962, was nominated for the Oscar for Best Foreign Language Film. In 1968, he moved to the U.S. briefly and made his great breakout film, Rosemary's Baby. He married his second wife, the actress Sharon Tate, that same year. But the marriage was very short-lived because Tate, who was pregnant with their first child at the time, was tragically murdered with four of their friends by the infamous Manson gang while Polanski was out of town. After Tate died, Polanski continued to make movies, primarily in Europe, including Chinatown, The Pianist, and The Ghostwriter. Polanski married Emmanuelle Seigner in 1989 and wrote the role of Michelle in Frantic for his new wife-to-be. Harrison Ford is an American actor who began his working life as a master carpenter. There are still homes in Los Angeles which contain remnants of his work. He enjoyed carpentry so much that he still does carpentry as a hobby. He's had a long and successful career in Hollywood, making iconic films such as the Indiana Jones series, the Star Wars series, and many others, including Blade Runner, Witness, Working Girl, Patriot Games, The Fugitive, and Clear and Present Danger. He remains not only one of the most prolific actors in Hollywood, but one of the most bankable, since his films have grossed a combined billions of dollars worldwide. His latest film, an adaptation of Jack London's novel, The Call of the Wild, was released in 2020. Ennio Morricone, 1928 to 2020, who composed the score for Frantic, was a distinguished Italian film composer, conductor, and arranger. He composed more than 400 film scores, more than 70 of which are award winners, and 100 classical works, and is considered one of the greatest film composers of all time. His filmography includes more than 70 award-winning films. In 2007, the Motion Picture Academy awarded him an honorary Oscar for his magnificent and multifaceted contributions to the art of film music. Plot summary. A prominent American surgeon, Dr. Richard Walker, travels to Paris with his wife, Sandra, to attend a medical convention. When they arrive at their hotel, Walker realizes that his wife has picked up the wrong suitcase, a fact which leads them into the dark underworld of Paris. While Walker showers, Sandra receives a phone call, gets dressed, and leaves their room, unknown to her husband. When she does not return, Walker realizes that Sandra has disappeared and begins a frantic, frightening search for her. He pleads for help from anyone who will listen, but no one believes him. So he sets out to find her on his own, meeting a trashy young Frenchwoman, Michelle, who turns out to be a drug mule. Together, they set out to search for Sandra, wandering through the gritty back streets of Paris, bouncing from ragtag cafes to seedy flats, and meeting up with some very dicey characters. The question is, who took Sandra and why, and where is she? The answer is more complicated than you may think. Fun facts about Frantic. Polanski has a small cameo appearance as a taxi driver who hands some matches to Dr. Walker. Also, Polanski's voice is dubbed in as the voice of the man in the tweed jacket who interrogates Michelle in her apartment. The souvenir statuette of the Statue of Liberty found in Michelle's suitcase may have been the hiding place for the Crytron. For those of you who saw the Lavender Hill Mob, 1951, shown here in our film festival a few weeks ago, souvenir statuettes of the Eiffel Tower were used to smuggle a hoard of gold out of England. The similarity here is obvious. In 2005, Emmanuelle Seigner said that she was only 19 years old when she made the film and had no idea who Harrison Ford was. Seigner said Ford was so concerned about her driving that he had a second set of brakes installed in her car to protect them while they were filming. This is Polanski's second thriller set in Paris. The first was The Tenant, 1976, in which some of the settings are similar to this film. The pop song that Ford and Seigner danced to is based on the composition by Astor Piazzolla, said to be the world's most foremost tango composer. Sandra Walker's passport shows her with a big grin. In fact, U.S. passport photo regulations prohibited smiling images until 1991. The same document shows her actual birth date. Frantic is mentioned in Bare Naked Ladies' song 1 Week. The lyric is, like Harrison Ford, I'm getting frantic. The Crytron has the initials RP and GB printed on it below the nuclear symbol. These are Polanski's and George Brock's signatures as the film's screenwriters. Michelle's black-top, yellow-bodied convertible with a fuchsia heart on the driver's door was a 1967 Volkswagen 1500 Cabriolet Cosnell Type 1. Things to look for: the shower scene, the VW Cabriolet, the Statue of Liberty statuette, Polanski's cameo, Sandra Walker's passport, Ford's and Seigner's tango dance, the unhelpful security officials from the hotel, French police, and the U.S. Embassy, the Paris copy of the Statue of Liberty, the scruffy bar patron who saw Sandra being kidnapped, and the Le Grand Hotel settings. Now it's time for Frantic to roll. Settle in with a drink and a snack, preferably French, and you'll see the film shortly. Enjoy.